Alright, let's see if I can get this recorded and get the audio working. So I'm going to go through these real slow. The first one's Fortitude. The ideal class is Warrior. It's not the class, it's just what it's usually geared toward, or what you usually choose as a class for Fortitude. And it's required for heavier armor. You receive less damage, but you know, while dodging, less frames. So yeah, you're wearing heavy armor, makes sense to me. You know, you roll, you can't roll as fast, it makes sense to me. So now you want to choose reflexes to sort of counteract that, and you say, well, I want the invincibility frames, I want to dodge. Well, now you receive more range damage, and that is reflexes, which is required for skilled equipment, and the class is Rogue. Again, you can't be all powerful, so now you receive more range damage. So you like, I want to counteract that. Well, it's a circle or it's a triangle. So the class is Cleric, required for magical attuned accessories, and you receive less range damage, but you receive more melee damage, and that goes now back to Fortitude. So if you want to receive less melee damage, you need to go back to Fortitude. But now you need to choose one of the three, because now you're just going in circles. So either Fortitude, willpower, or reflexes, and you're choosing, you know, because it makes sense. If you're dodging, then you don't need armor. If you don't need armor, then you don't need dodging. And if you're just trying to receive less range damage because you're spell damage, then you know, it's just a big triangle. The next one's Merchant, required for heavier backpacks and waist bags. You carry more items, but your movement is louder. It makes sense. Movement's louder while you're wearing backpacks and waist bags. I think that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, you're carrying items and you're like, well, I still want to be stealthy, so you choose Stealth. And that class is Assassin. Required for specialized equipment. Movement is muffled while sneaking. Great. But your movement is slower. So you're like, holy crap. You sort of can't win. You have to choose what you want to, what you really want in a character. You have to think about your build. So you want to be faster. So you say, okay, well, I'm going to click Agility now because I'm quiet. I'm carrying all these items. Now I want to be faster. So you click Agility. And Agility's class is Thief. It's required for skilled weapons. And the pro is you move faster. The con is your melee deals less damage. This is like a big square or a big octagon. This is like 5 different ones. But now you want to deal more melee. You're like, okay, well, I'm fast. I'm taking a lot of items. I'm quiet. I just want to hit harder. Well, power, right? Click power. And class of Berserker, required for heavier weapons. You deal more melee damage, but it lowers your accuracy. So now you're hitting real hard, but you're less accurate. So you're like, I want to be more accurate. So you go toward Endurance. Paladin is the class required for heavier shield and skilled offhand weapons, like a second weapon. But increases melee accuracy, but your movement is slower. So now it just goes back to, you know, your movement being slower. So you're like, oh, well, I'll go back to Agility, speed it up. And it's just like big, like I said, a big octagon shape. You're like, holy crap, I can't win. But you have to sort of pick and choose the ones that fit the class that you're going toward, if that makes sense. You can't be all powerful. And this is the main part of the game. But you have to remember at the same time that you're choosing these, that you're putting points in them to put stronger equipment on. But again, it's give and take. So, you know, maybe you find armor that you like, and it's not as heavy. Maybe it's a leather armor that you like, and you've been putting points in Fortitude to get this leather armor, and your dodge roll hasn't suffered that much. And you're like, I can live with this. This is where I stop on Fortitude. And you go down the list and you can build that way. Because, like you said, it's give and take. You're not all powerful, but at the same time, you know, you're not, you know, you could still be an all-arounder. You're just not going to be an efficient all-arounder. You know, if you want the strongest mage or something, yeah, you're going to choose a lot of wisdom. If you want a lot of punching power or a lot of attacking power, you're going to put things into power. If you want to be good with shields, then you're going to use endurance. You know, you want to be that paladin, you're probably going to choose that willpower, so that, you know, that you have that less melee or, you know, less range damage, and choose shields so that, you know, when you block, you can block an attack. The way blocking works is it doesn't take any points away from your vitality or intelligence, charisma, strength, and dexterity. But if you miss the block, you're going to take damage. So, you know, it's like the idea of it goes toward vitality. Intelligence is for magic. Charisma is for sneaking around. Strength is for your hitting. And dexterity is for your rolling. So you got to put points in that too. You have to decide, you know, how many points do I need in vitality? How many points do I need in intelligence? How many points do I need in, you know, am I going to be sneaky all the time? Am I going to, you know, it depends what you do all the time. If you're a kind of thief character and you steal and you're carrying a lot of items and you put points on the right side towards stealth and, you know, being quick and stealing, then yeah, then you're going to want charisma because you're going to want to be a more stealthy character. But pretend you're an agile reflexes character that's fast. Well, then you're going to want to put points toward dexterity so you can roll around. You know, me, I'm more of a punchy kind of guy. I like to punch. I probably won't use as much spells. So I'm probably going to put points toward power and strength so that I can, you know, I don't get so weak and I can make sure that I always have a way to attack. But yeah, you sort of have to, you know, decide what kind of character I'm building. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I have these chests at the top. 3 different chests. One I put items in. One of them sort of generates items out of a select few, so we'll see what pops up. And then the other chest is like gear, and I can just keep pushing R and it keeps changing that equipment out. But the first chest is a normal chest, so it's sort of like just I choose what goes in there, and I'm gonna take the Manuka honey so I can heal later. The second chest is random. I put like maybe 10 different items in there and say, hey, just choose out of these 10 items. Give me 2 or 3 items out of this chest. And then the treasure chest is like random loot. And I only have a few items that I've made. But it could be, you know, they all are different. They have different stats. They have different, you know, whatever. So yeah, the stats are all different, but I can keep generating just to see what pops up. And I'll probably fix the text on that because it looks bad. Let's talk to Cakes here. Cakes, you were sleeping so peacefully for once, I didn't want to wake you. Cakes nods. Pamela the Rogue. My wife and I have been together for centuries. Even death couldn't pull us apart. Pamela used to bake cakes all the time. I started calling her pancakes. Now I just call her Cakes. And then information. Your stomach was growling so loud it woke the kids. Orion's on patrol and your daughter is at the ruins. Patrol? Brave but foolish. Reminds me of someone. I would feel more comfortable if his sword wasn't made of wood. So now we know she has a problem. You know, she doesn't like the sword's made of wood. Let's see. I click nothing and it says hammer bashes rocks. Sword slice shrubs. Axes chop trees, but what can be done with the boken? So a boken is just a wooden sword. So let's go see your son. And now you have this idea, like, okay, she wishes he didn't have that wooden sword. She wishes he had a real sword. So again, it's like a quest, but there's no quest pop-up. You just have it in the back of your mind. Good morning, Dad. Nothing. A tree fell, which makes it impossible to come in or out this way. I guess I'll take the day off. So you hear that and you say, okay, there's a tree in the way, and Pamela just told me that axes cut trees and rocks get smashed by hammers. So now you're starting to think, well, maybe I need an axe to cut this tree down or cut this tree out, you know, from blocking the way to go that way. But again, it's just an idea. Like this is how an old RPG used to be. And that's what I wanted to make. Blessed be another glorious morning. Makes me sick. Minerva the Witch. I met Minerva a long time ago. She lived in the settlement as a little girl. Minerva once said, we are not defined by what happens to us. We're defined by what we do. By what we do. Anyway, Lucius lives east of the settlement. Every morning he brings me mushrooms, but today was different. And Lucius is loved by every person, maybe either by his words or his meaningful gifts. Lucius convinced the necromancer to join his non-existent cult and made the wizard prove his loyalty. And I click mushrooms, so double, toil and trouble. This witch needs her morning brew. So, you know she needs mushrooms. and just to prove that, and she can sense the mushroom on you. So I just want to prove that, you know, do not be frightened in the forest, because in your soul, you know, the most frightening thing in the forest is you. But what I was going to say is, you know that she can't detect the mushroom yet because it's not on you. And you can buy the mushroom. I even could have picked it out of the chest and she'll know you have that mushroom on you. But I wanted to pick it up off the ground to show you that, hey, I can pick up items, I can drop items, I can even use items, which is cool. So pretty much this game is, I mean, at this point, I don't know what else I can add. I've added everything I want to add, but I just need to do the pixel art. I've said this on my last video. It's just all about pixel art. I'm really just stuck on this darn pixel art. I'm using Dialogic for my dialogue. Oh, it's so simple to use. Yeah, I would recommend it to anybody. I can sneak. I can attack. Yeah, I know I need to add like to where you can equip your items. I guess that would be the next thing. Like, hey, let's make sure these items pop up. Like the shield pops up. So when I block, the shield pops up. You know, make sure when I attack, the sword pops up. You know, things like that. So there is a lot to add. There's a lot to do. I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. See, I can heal with the Manuka honey. So I just healed. My health is all the way healed. So the items do work. And let's see what she says now. So blessed be another glorious morning, makes me sick. And then do not be frightened of the forest, says the same thing. I can smell mushrooms up to 40 feet away. Elizabeth of the woods, will you part with that today? Yes. She set out with intentions knowing which way to go, but wandered until nighttime as the wind began to blow. Lost in the forest, surrounded by the trees, the forest engulfed her as she slept in the breeze. Unable to move the very next day, what she became after losing her way. Now, I didn't put where you can, I'm sure, you know, I'm going to put like, oh, you can gain experience points and stuff. But I haven't added all that yet, but I will. What else did I want to say? I just wanted to apologize to everybody for taking so long to post another video. I just, you know, I work at night. I have a regular job just like everybody else. But I know that it's a large project. When I just didn't want to make something that's a throwaway that you say, oh, you know, I'm making something that everybody else is making, that same game that everybody's making, that nobody plays, because it's the same darn game. So I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to fix some things, you know, especially RPGs have gotten super boring. I don't know, I play The Witcher, and I play, you know, that's a great game, by the way, Witcher, and there's a lot of great games, but what I'm saying is, did they add anything? You know, I feel like Witcher was going in the right direction, but I have to turn off the map. Great, thank God they let you do that. But yeah, you got to turn off the map. But I feel like old games used to be like that, where you would write things down and you would get engulfed in this world and people would talk to you and you have to listen to what they say. Otherwise, you don't know what you're doing. You know, there's no quest markers, and that's pretty important to me. I'll probably pull out like to where you can pull out so you can see the world a little bit better, but I don't really want a map and quest markers at all. That's like not going to happen. But I also wanted to counteract the idea of all-powerful, because when you play Skyrim, it's great, because I can be a spellcaster, and I can attack, and be this strong warrior type, too, and I could wear the heaviest armor, and da-da-da-da. But I wanted to counteract that, too, where it's like, you can't be everything. You have to choose something. And hopefully that adds to replay value. And in the year, like I said, I think I've done a pretty good job adding features and, you know, fixing my art style, you know, figuring my art style out. Like, even the buildings I've made up to this point, they're sort of like pre-made buildings. I've made the art, and all I have to do is like the building's up, I can just, you know, add to it little things here and there. And I can even go on my buildings. I should have gone inside my buildings. I didn't even think about that. But the point is that I'm making things so that I can make this game on a large scale, and it's now that I have like a lot of things built, I can just start adding things. Like everything's made in Excel. The spells are in Excel. The items are in Excel. Everything's in Excel. So I can just type up the name and the damage and then make the radius or the direction for the spell, and then boom, it's made. The same thing with items. I can literally just type it in Excel, tell you how many HP you're getting in Excel, and then it's already in my game, generated on the game. All I got to do is put a PNG to it, a picture, and it's made. Boom, and it works. So again, I've made this game to where I can produce really fast. Now that it's sort of done, but I just need to start creating. And I've said this on my last video, it's all about pixel art, and I know I haven't created much since the last time, 6 months ago or whatever that we last saw. By the way, it's a year anniversary. Congratulations, 1 year. I've been working on the game for a year exact. I feel like the time has passed so fast. But the second year is all about completing the world. I really want to try to be done with half the world this year. That would be awesome. If I can get half the world done this year, I'd be so proud of myself. I knew this was going to be a long project. A lot of people were like, don't do a long project. That's just stupid. You're going to quit. I haven't quit. I haven't quit. If anything, I'm more determined. I'm even more proud of myself. Seeing my art, I love my art. I really love the pixel art, and a lot of people tell me that. You know, I show a lot of people. The people come over to the house, and they're like, "Holy crap, man, this is pretty cool," and it makes me feel good. And they I have a lot of encouragement around me, so I'm just gonna keep pushing. And maybe my next video will be another 6 months out. I'm not gonna lie, but I promise you that I'm working hard. I promise you I'm producing, and I hope you have a great day. And if you're thinking about making a game, make it, do it. I said on my last video, you can do it. You can do anything you put your mind to. Thank you for subscribing. I can't believe I have 30 subscribers or whatever. That's crazy. Like, for somebody to say, hey, I'm watching you. I'm actually like here, you know, seeing what you're doing. This is great what you're doing. And I feel like it's just another piece of support. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot to me. I mean, for it to go from 0 to nobody and 30 people, random people that are actually like, hey, notifications when a video comes out, even if it's a year from now, I totally want to be notified. Even that fills me with joy. But thank you to everybody. Thank you for your support, and have a blessed day.